Welcome back to another episode of the Pencil Pushers Project. If this is your first time listening to our podcast, we primarily discuss music, movies, TV, current events, sports, lifestyle, and more. I go by the name of Jay. I am one half of the Pencil Pushers, and I am joined by my co-host, friend, brother, Zay. Zay, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. You know, another day. We got spectators in the studio.
We got youngsters, giving them some game, giving them some insight as to the next 20 years of their life.
Man, they're giving us some insight too, though. It's kind of, I mean, a lot of things change.
A lot of things are different for young people now.
It's funny. I don't think we as adults spend enough time just asking kids like, "Yo, what's going through your head right now?"
And I'm not a parent, but I feel like that's one of the things that makes things harder for parents is that they just assume that what they did in their day is going to be the same thing that's going to work for the child of today.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's necessarily true because kids today experience different things. There's a whole different, societally speaking, culturally speaking, things are just way different, than they were when the parents were younger. So, yeah, man, how's your week been going, bro?
It's been good, man. Don't remember most of my week actually. What did I do this week?
While you're thinking about it, real quick, today is episode 53, and before we begin, we would appreciate you guys who are watching us on YouTube to like the video, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, with subscribing, hit that bell. We do keep the descriptions and the timestamps in the description, so please check that out. We appreciate it.
I remember.
You remember now?
Yeah.
Good. All right.
All right. So I went to a super dope restaurant on Wednesday. It was called
must not be that
Kimball
good.
House.
Oh.
It's called Kimball House, bro. It's expensive, but man, the food was so
What is that,
good.
like a steakhouse?
It's like new American food mixed with French cuisine.
Mm.
And when I tell you that food was spectacular, and I went there off of edible too, so I was pretty high. But the food was like, bro, I mean phenomenal, man. I didn't want to leave. I had these grilled oysters. And I don't even like oysters, bro.
Why'd you get them? Just
because I was there.
Had to do it, huh?
I was there and I had to do it. It was just like, whatever, I'll order them.
You know what I hate? When people go to a restaurant and they order like just the regular shit they'd order anywhere else.
Yo, let me get some hot wings.
Yeah, like be in the moment a little bit.
Yeah, that's every time I order oysters with like some duck breast and
duck breast, you bougie ass.
Yo, that food was so good, bro. I was like literally mind blown by what I was eating. You know the show Chef's Table?
Yeah.
I felt like I was on the episode of Chef's Table. Like I'm like this. I feel like I didn't even deserve to be eating this food. It was too good.
Shout out to Kimball House.
Kimball House, man. And I had a macaroon, bro. Best macaroon in my life. I've never had a macaroon that good. Macaroon was like this big, bro. It had like gelato in it with like these cookie crisp crumbles. Oh my god.
Mm.
And then what my girl had? She had a pork. She had like a pork belly. I don't even eat pork. I ate a piece of that pork, and it was amazing.
It's a brand new spot or newer?
I don't even know if they're new. But it's an old train station. Like the building is an old train station, and it's hidden behind trees. It's on a main road, but it's hidden behind trees. You can see it visibly during the day, but at night, it's like they got like the little Christmas lights, so you can only see it. You will probably have to get out your car and walk up. But man, it was so good. It was phenomenal. That was like one of my highlights this week, man. And what else? I feel like I watched something good on TV, but I'll get there. What about you?
Well, let me tell you, brother. I got the second shot.
Oh.
This week.
What happened? How'd that go?
The first 24 hours, it was all right. Then the next 12 hours, didn't go all right.
What happened?
Well, I just experienced I was really like muscle fatigue, and I was just really tired. I had a headache. I had some chills, and man, I still was trying to do some sessions and still work. Boy, I gotta tell you, I had to call some folks.
Worst decision of your life.
Hey, I'm here to tell you. You hear that? That's there's one to come get me in like an hour. But so yeah, that next 12 hours was really, really, really rough. Then I went to bed, and then the next morning I was coming out of it, and now I feel fine. But yeah, it was a rough 12 hours, man. Aside from that, I was planning on watching something, but that didn't happen because I was tired from sleeping. Basically anytime I wasn't working, I was sleeping.
I was supposed to watch Castlevania, but that got messed up.
I gotta start back from the top, man. I was watching it and I was doing other stuff at the same time. So I can't even give my take on it. But I'm gonna watch it this week, and next week I'll have some sauce for y'all with the feedback. But
see, luckily for me, I started watching it when I was in Sierra Leone, so it's all kind of fresh. I finished it there, this season 3.
Oh, okay.
So I can go straight into season 4 and I'm good.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm caught up to that point, but I started watching season 4, but I just was distracted. I feel like there's a lot going on that I gotta pay attention to give my insight on it, but it looks good from what I did with that. What I was able to see, it looked pretty exciting, but yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch a whole lot, and I barely got a chance to. Well, I did listen to some music because luckily by the time music was dropping, I was starting to feel better, and we'll get into that shortly. But man, this week was pretty solid up until like middle of the week because I got the shot on Wednesday, so Wednesday afternoon to Thursday morning-ish I was fine, and then that's when everything started going haywire for the boy. But yeah, 2 jabs, and according to Joe, I don't need no mask no more, or according to CDC.
I was about to say, so like, are you actually gonna stop wearing a mask?
Because
I feel like places are still gonna press you.
But that's the thing, though. See, the thing is, if a company or a business is gonna mandate it, then yeah, I'm gonna wear it. Because that's how I've always felt. Like I've always felt, even from the beginning, that privately a business should be able to do whatever they want. If they say mask, fine. If they say no mask, that should be fine too. And then a person can just decide, okay, if they have a no mask policy, I'm just not gonna go in. Or so that's how I thought it should always be. But I have like the little sleeve and stuff I wear anyway, so I keep them in the car just in case. But if I don't need to wear one, I'm not gonna wear one.
Okay.
So what I find is kind of funny is people were like, when in the beginning it was like, hey man, the CDC says you need to wear a mask, and now everyone's like, man, fuck the CDC. They don't know what the fuck they talking. They don't know what the fuck they talking about.
What they talking about.
Yeah, so it's funny. So it's like, and this is also why people are stupid.
Remember when black people thought they couldn't get this? I think my dad used to believe that, actually.
Listen, a lot of niggas was fooled off of that because it sounded good. I think Dr. Umar told us that. No, I was kidding.
I remember that they thought only white people. Because who's the white person that caught it? I forgot.
What, Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks. That's who it started. Yeah, it was Tom Hanks.
Forrest Gump got it.
And then I think who killed it for us was Idris Elba.
Idris Elba got his little.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, he's a Brit. He ain't even no real black person. He's a I got the virus. Yeah. Greatest lie ever told was that we couldn't get it.
That was like a real legitimate thing too.
Yeah, then it come to find out it hurt us the worst.
Exactly.
Because of our own pre-existing health conditions and shit like that.
Us and Mexicans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what got it worse. That's crazy. That's crazy to think about for real.
Yeah, so, but I just found that to be funny. It was like, listen to the CDC last year. Now it's fuck the CDC. So, but yeah, man. We heard last week, the little snippet, the little single that J. Cole had dropped.
Oh yeah, it's been news wise this week. It's been pretty wild. Like this has been a pretty wild week for the news, and I'm not talking about just like music. I just mean in general, music too. I'm not trying to divert from that. It's just I'm Elon Musk. Everything. It's just been boom, 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 boom.
Well, we gonna get into all that because we had a little conversation before we even got here regarding one Mr. Jermaine. What's his middle name? Who cares a fuck? Jermaine something Cole.
Jermaine Dupri Cole.
may as well be. So, yesterday, midnight, off season. Which album is this for him? 7th, 6th?
I don't like the 5th.
Latest album from J. Cole.
Yeah, Sideline Story, Born Center, Forest Hills Drive, KO 5th.
5th.
Oh, I forgot For Your Eyes.
Only
6.
Yeah.
6 album.
Latest album from Mr. Jermaine Cole. And I'm saying Mr. respectfully because, he did this shit on here. He did it on here, man. So, without getting too deep into it, man, I got to say I really, really like this album, bro. I really, really enjoyed it. When I see 12 songs... And people know, I look at songs. See, the song numbers mean something. I think people got to realize that. Like, 12 songs means that a nigga know that, I got 12 heaters.
Yeah.
Anybody who's willing to drop 10, 12 songs for an album of J. Cole status. Either one or two things. Either you're a lazy bum, which I don't find him to be, or you got 12 smokers.
Mm-hmm.
Which
he kind of did.
He kind of had, I mean, it's a no skip for me. Nothing was skippable on there, and man. And at the time when it first came out, they didn't have the features on there like listed. Mm-hmm. If you go back in, well, at least on Spotify, if you go back in there now, they have the features listed on there. But in the beginning, you didn't know, so you just was hearing the song, and all of a sudden you hear 21 Savage, and then it's like, oh,
yeah.
Then you hear let me go to the beginning. You hear Cameron.
That was the one.
I was like, what the other? Whoa.
I was like, Killer Cam. Where did this guy come from?
Whoa. So
I want to hear him on every intro of every hip hop album from now on.
I kind of wish that, and this is not a knock. This is just like I wish like the beat that Cameron was on, the original for that original song, the sample. Mm-hmm. I wish J. Cole would have rapped to that beat. Not that I don't like the beat from this song, 95 South, but the original song that Cameron was on.
Yeah.
I kind of wish J. Cole would have got off on that. But that's not a knock against the project. It's just like, damn, it would be nice to hear that. But, yeah, so you hear Cameron, then you hear 21, then you hear Lil Baby. Then you hear Boss, Black. Yeah. And, man, just I got nothing really bad.
It's a phenomenal album, man.
Yeah, man. What did you think about it when you...
It's so weird. What was the weirdest thing about this album? It's coming to grips with the fact that I feel like I kind of watched J. Cole grow up. Like it's kind of weird. Just when I think about all the rappers that have come out in like the last 10 years or so. Cause J. Cole, when is her Sideline Story? I was in high school when that came out. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy. Looking at him now, that was the funniest thing about looking at the documentary too. It's like, wow, like I literally watched you go through your career. I remember the Diddy fight. I remember the Diddy fight. I remember when you dropped Sideline Story and everybody was like, bro, you just dropped songs that we already heard, and then the new songs were okay, except the Missy Elliott song. I remember that. But it was just like, so to watch him go through all his growing pains and then seeing him now, man, it's crazy to me, honestly. But the album itself, it's a great album, dude. I like the fact that J. Cole is finally starting to flex a little bit. Like, he never gave himself that album to flex. This was his flexing album.
Yeah, he did a lot of shit talking on here.
And I kind of want... See, and I'm hoping everybody in this class does that. Drake had his with he already had his. He can do another one though. If you're reading this, it's too late. That was Drake's moment. This is J. Cole's. Now Kendrick dropped. Honestly, if Kendrick has like a couple political songs, fine. But I kind of want to see him like get that braggadocio because I feel like they haven't had that moment yet. And I think that's why I like this so much.
Oh, before we get too far ahead.
And also, J. Cole needs to keep working with different producers. That's the one. That was one of my biggest takeaways from this album.
Yeah. I think you see the growth in just what he's able to do with different sounds, different people working with him. You know, it's cool to do something all by yourself, but it's really cool to do something with a bunch of people and make it work. Because these people will challenge you. These people will not, and I don't mean challenge like, you know, like push you, but like they just make you expand your perspective, maybe think about how you approach a song, flow-wise, you know, beats that you select. You know what I mean? Just different things like that. And I really thought that, you know, this was a project that was good for him. It was a good I mean, I liked KOD, don't get me wrong, but it was a good, I think, jolt. A good jolt. And especially in a time where we really need to hear some music from anybody.
Yeah.
But we didn't get it from just anybody. Cole is not, let me just be clear, Cole is not just anybody. But if it's someone for Cole's caliber, I feel like he did not disappoint.
No, he exceeded. I mean, I text you this. I know I said it was his best album, but I really thought I'm not gonna say it's too early to call it his best album, but I will absolutely say this is his most concise project.
Yeah,
this is his most concise. This is his most focused.
Yeah, I try to stay away from like best project, like right out the gate, because I do think there's value in how it stands over the test of time.
Yeah.
Before making that decision.
I agree though.
So that's why I just don't like to do that. But if we're just judging it off of what I heard yesterday, if we're going back to the ranking thing, 9.5.
Yeah.
I honestly don't even know why I'm giving it a half off, but
I really didn't have any because, like I said, he's so focused, man. Like, and then for him to acknowledge the fact that, I got comfortable. I made Forest Hills Drive, and then I kind of took over the world, and I was chilling. Like, and it's funny. We were all chilling with him because remember, For Your Eyes Only. That was the most interesting part about that album was the fact that the police raided his that house, and then he made Neighbors out of anger. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's the thing, bro. And the bars on this album, this dude is rapping like he's rapping. I don't even know. He was rapping like he was really waking up because I remember he said in the document, he said, I woke up every morning and I wrote a verse. Like I would just wake up, I'm writing a verse. And it showed.
Yeah.
It absolutely showed.
Yeah, for sure. Now there's always the three-headed monster that we talk about. And I say we as the general population. There's always Cole, Kendrick, and Drake.
Might be time to put Lil Baby up there.
Well, what I mean by that is I'm just talking about in the decade of like the era.
Oh, you mean the decade? Oh, I thought you meant like just top tier.
So
okay.
With Kendrick not really putting anything out in the past almost 5 years, is it really Cole, Kendrick, and Drake, or they're just Cole and Drake at this point?
With speculation that Kendrick is dropping this year, depending on what he drops, because honestly, I feel like this album is about to make a lot of rappers step back. Because the issue is that Cole, the one difference between Cole, Kendrick, and Drake is that all Cole's songs have always been bars. You see, Drake got the reggae, Drake got the reggaeton, but this whole album was really just nothing but bars when you really think about it. Mm-hmm. And look what it's doing. And it's just like, I'm not saying Drake is going to escape his sound. Of course, he's still going to have to sing in songs, but it's just like, if J. Cole is rapping like this, like you got Laugh Now, Cry Later, and then you got this.
Yeah.
If I was one of them two, I know I'm going back to the booth. That's just me. Because it's not like these people don't know each other. They came up together. They're cool. They probably hang out. I was surprised there wasn't even a Drake feature on this album.
Do you think that they have, because like I said, these guys are relatively in the same era? Do you think either of these guys have tapped in with Kendrick as far as, hey man, like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, like, we need to, we need what you got, bro. Like, we need, because Kendrick is one of those artists who will openly challenge his rap peers, even if not by diss per se, but just by the quality of his music and just the type of energy that he puts out. Even when he's on songs with people, he's trying to be the best verse on that song. He's always been that way. So for him to not release music in the past, well, I don't count the Black Panther project, but for him to not release a solo project since 2017, we all know Kendrick, what he's capable of and what he's done, but he's got to. We got to. If we're not willing to put him on the clock, then,
Yeah. That's the thing.
There's got to be there has to be for the sake of music. I'm not saying for him as an individual. Like if he's at peace with his life, then so be it. But in the terms of the music space, there's got to be a penalty for a prolonged absence of this nature.
Yeah, and that's the issue. It's just like, it's not like he's giving any updates. We don't even know. Yeah. We don't know what's going on. I'm not saying we need to know be privy, but I mean, dude, at least make it like an appearance on a late night talk show and just say, "Yeah, I'm alive."
So like today, if we have
something, man.
So like today, if we have a conversation about top 5 rappers, Kendrick can't be in that list.
I agree. I totally agree.
He's been out of rapping too long. And this is not a lifetime achievement award because obviously, like I said, if we're talking body of work, yes, but in the past 4 years, he's been if a player retired from basketball, let's say LeBron retired in 20. When did the Cavs win the championship? 2016, 2017.
It was 2016.
2016. If LeBron retired, he can't be the best player in the league no more.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? If he's not, so Kendrick, unless he's like I said, he's got to be looking to put out something. For me, or for most people, I think to put him in that category, we can't keep putting him in that category if he's not putting out no music. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, again, overall, the talent, he's solidified. He's his bars, his music speaks for itself. But that's why I say when people say Cole, Kendrick, Drake, Kendrick, we've been saying those 3 for a while because that was at the time when they were active. But if one of them ain't gonna be active, then we can't keep saying
doing that.
Yeah, so
Lil Baby taking this place. I honestly, this is one. I really hope this album starts putting 21 Savage in a different conversation. I'm not. If you don't want to put him top tier, fine. But people got to stop pretending like this dude can't rap. Because I don't even know what it's going to take at this point.
Well, I'm not sure if people really heard him with that flow like that.
But I mean, if you listen to his last album, even if you listen to Savage Mode 2. Yeah,
that's true.
And the album before that, it's like, I always say this, and people can say all they want, but I'm going to say, honestly, I think 21 Savage is the most improved mainstream rapper in the last 5 years. Honestly, like, I don't know anyone who's improved that quick, except maybe, it might be him and Lil Baby. They might be the 2 most improved rappers of the last 5 years, easily.
Yeah, that's not a bad.
So it's
2 tier, 2 people.
It's like at this point, when we're gonna start like being like, nah, he can rap. I wonder, they gotta drop a project together. Their chemistry is just too good.
Baby and Savage.
Savage and J. Cole.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think it'd be interesting because of of course, the 2 audiences, but I feel like when they get together, they tend to make some really, really good music.
You can tell they talk a lot before they record, too. They probably be talking for like 3 hours and then be like, all right, let's figure out a song. Like, you can tell they're actually friends, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. I like hearing them together. They've only made 2 songs together, but I even appreciated seeing 21 in the documentary. It was just like, oh, y'all like continue this relationship, like.
Yeah, that I gotta watch. I got pulled into the other documentary we were talking about off the mic, but
okay.
I do gotta watch that.
Yeah, it was good seeing him and 21 together, man, because it's like you just never would expect it.
Right.
You never would expect these two to be friends like this.
True that.
And I think that's why I like their relationship so much. So I don't know. I give it a 9.8 out of 10 because I ain't giving nothing perfect scores.
maybe that's why I just couldn't give myself
phenomenal album though.
But it is a great project.
What were your favorite tracks? We gotta do that part.
Well, Applying Pressure, I like that one. Let me go back to the list. But off the top of my head, Applying Pressure was one of my favorites. My Life was really dope. 100 Mil and Hunger on Hillside.
For me, it was Amari. Amari was crazy, man. Yeah. Amari, My Life, yeah. Applying Pressure. 100 Mil.
Just 4 songs. We can't do the whole album and say that.
The whole thing was good.
Well, I know, but you gotta.
Okay, Amari. I say Amari, My Life. I'm not saying Decline Back. Hunger on Hillside and Let Go My Hand because I like the fact that he brought up the Diddy thing.
It's a good one. Good.
Yeah. It was a nice little thing. He said, "I haven't fought in."
I don't think anyone's favorite 4 is wrong. I just think you gotta pick.
Yeah.
Just gotta pick them. But yeah, man. Excellent project. We'll let this thing simmer for a little bit before we talk about his best project. But yeah. Best project I've heard in a long time. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I've heard it some time.
Sorely needed.
Yes, sir. What else came out? Nicki Minaj dropped.
What's up with her timing? Why does she always do this? Remember she dropped on Travis Scott. What happened on that? She dropped something dealing with Travis Scott. It wasn't the same day as. What did he do? It was something. I don't remember what it was.
What, Astroworld?
Was it like she dropped her album and then she complained about?
She was mad because he did like the merch thing.
That's what it was.
She was mad because he was like, you buy the album. So she was saying that, they're cheating to get to the number 1. Yeah. That was her assessment. I don't know if she also threw shot at DJ Khaled, but I think DJ Khaled did something of the same thing.
Igor. Would tell her
or
Igor.
Maybe.
No, that's what it was. I remember that.
Oh no, okay.
Yeah,
it was so Khaled was getting at Tyler.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, yeah. So Beam Me Up, Scotty. Now I didn't listen to the whole thing, but we just gonna talk about one song.
I mean, because it's a mixtape re-release.
Yeah,
for the most part.
But we are gonna talk about C and Green because
yeah,
it's only one verse we really need to talk about on there.
I mean, all the verses were good, but
they were.
But
it's only one verse we need to.
But boy.
What's Wayne's middle name? Dwayne
F. Carter. Or I don't even know. That verse was spectacular.
Let me tell you something, bro. It put me right back in 2007 before I even moved to Orlando.
That boy said, "I got a girl in Atlanta. Who got a girl in Atlanta?" And then I was just like, "Yo."
Like, all right, it was just the way he was. What's crazy is like his punchlines were very, very. It was like they were hard, but they were like in a weird way they weren't. But it was just his voice, his flow, his everything about him was like it just. I just time traveled back into like 2007.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, yo, who? Because when I was thinking it, because you know what it was? I think maybe because of what I've been hearing from him lately, I just was expecting a different Wayne to be rapping on this song.
Mm-hmm.
So when he started talking about like something about shooting his fucking flag off,
yeah,
and I was like, wait a minute.
He said, I killed your. I'm sorry, I killed your cat. No,
cat. That's my bad, dog.
No, my bad. I was like, yo.
Yeah, like he said, like the shit. What did he say? The shit about it? Say, I had a gap before a tattoo. I had to, As a matter of fact, I had to. I was like, oh
bruh. It was.
I
was sitting here like, what is going on?
Like, wait a minute. What year are we in?
That just shows, that kind of showed his level of self-awareness.
Like that line, like I said, that line by itself, it doesn't sound like it's a crazy bar, but just the way he delivers it is just so like, it's a sneaky bar. It was like I mean, obviously it's not a complicated bar, but you know, I had a gap before a tattoo. I had to, as a matter of fact, I had to. I was like,
it was crazy.
I was like, yo,
what a verse.
I ain't had one nigga, I had to.
what a verse.
Yeah, but it was just it's just everything about it was just very much, I mean, Amelia-ish. It was just very much in that same vein of like the peak Wayne. Now, yes, like you said, I think everyone had a good verse. I wasn't the biggest fan of Nicki's flow, but the bars she was saying, she said something about I watched bitches that couldn't rinse me or some shit like that, and I was like,
she said Vanilla Maserati, something about Haagen Dazs. I was like, yo, hold up.
She had some bars. She had some bars too. And then what did Drake say? Niggas can't trouble me from the DoubleTree. Step your sweets up.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah, I like when Drake talks shit.
I like that they all tried to out-rap each other. So you could tell.
If I ever see a nigga come out the DoubleTree, you can't trouble me from the DoubleTree, nigga. Step your sweets up. And then he had the Putin bar in Russian and shit. But just a very, very dope song. All three verses were fire.
Yeah.
So
none of them missed.
Yeah. Shout out to Nicki Minaj. I didn't listen to the whole rest of the project, but I'm sure the Barbs can tap in from their podcast. But so sorry, Onika, but
that was a phenomenal song. Like
man,
it felt good hearing them back together too.
Yeah, man.
I just wish she would have dropped next week or something. Like, why'd you drop this week?
Yeah, you know.
Why'd you do that? Because I kind of want the whole world to hear that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But everybody's so focused on J. Cole right now, and it's just like,
yeah, man, it's interesting.
You should have just waited.
It's interesting. How far do you want to get into this Joe Budden thing?
When's the last time you actually listened to the podcast?
I still listen to it.
I stopped listening to it, I would say, at some point last year. But I know enough.
All right. So the short version is Joe Budden has recently announced that Rory and Mal will no longer be on the podcast. Anyone who's familiar with the Joe Budden podcast knows that from its early inception, not its beginning inception, but from the early episodes, like under episode 100, Joe, Rory, and Mal have been the team that has been a part of the podcast. Okay, they've worked themselves up to damn near episode 400 something. So well over 2 years of putting in work. Hell, longer than that, doing live shows, so on and so forth. And apparently, the issue seems to be over a discrepancy in the contracts, which Mal and Rory recently actually put a video out kind of telling their side of the story. So Joe's giving his side, Rory and Mal have given their side. What is your overall takeaway from this situation? Do you feel like this is something where anytime friends and business get together, it's going to just eventually dissolve, or do you feel like...
Well, so I remember like in an episode they had at some point last year, they were talking about like how they're able to function as business partners and friends. They were saying, you know, just make sure you have lawyers. They were like, as long as you have lawyers, all y'all have understanding on legalities, then you're good. Well, clearly, none of these people had lawyers, and nobody had understanding on the legalities.
Well, I think that the issue is that they have lawyers, but the problem is the lawyers they're supposed to be the ones that reach the agreement, but when they go back to their respective parties with what's the agreement, maybe one guy says cool and the other guy says fuck no.
Yeah.
And then this is where we are. So
it's, I don't know, it's kind of...
Well, I won't get into the particulars of the contractual things.
Did they do that in their video? Did they talk about that?
They got into, well, not I mean, they have a confidentiality agreement, so they can't get into like everything. But Joe gave his perspective. Basically, Joe was like, "Yo, man, I own the shit. Y'all niggas don't need to be asking to look at nothing because it's mine." However, Joe's and Rory's argument said, "Well, that's what we agreed to in the contract," because their assertion is that we're paid percentage wise, so we're only gonna know how much we get paid if we see the books. We have to see the books to know the percentage. So that was their argument. The truth to me lies somewhere in the middle. You know, I don't find Rory and Mal to be like, they both have been in the entertainment industry, at least on some level. Mm-hmm. So I don't find them to be that aloof about business and contracts.
Yeah, they're not naive.
You feel what I'm saying? And I think Joe has a lot of experience in the music business, so I don't find him to be aloof either. Mm-mm. But what I do think is this is more of an issue of the future of the podcast and how Joe, it is, I mean, essentially at the end of the day, it is Joe's podcast. The vision he has moving forward versus the issues that Rory and Mal have not having yet been dealt with. Because really ever since they came out of that Spotify contract, it was like, okay, that's when things really started to see like appear evidently like shaky. Mm-hmm. Once the Spotify contract ended. Because I'm sure Joe had a vision, okay, we're not doing the Spotify deal no more, but this is where we're going to take it. Mal and Rory are probably like, no, I mean, we got to really make sure we know. So that's the thing I think is what was the ultimate crux of the situation. So the thing that hurts Rory and Mal is that while they put in a lot of equity into the podcast in terms of like, they have fans. I mean, I went to the show in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. People love Rory and Mal. And there's a Mal hive, there's a Rory hive, there's a Parks hive. You know, Joe's the name, but they do have fans.
You're right.
The problem is it's become such a mainstream thing that even when the turmoil, Joe is very good at what he does. Joe can curate content. So when he got Ice and Ish on there for those weeks, and he saw that those numbers were still relatively solid, and it didn't take no real loss, it validated instead of speaking to the greatness of Joe's ability to create content, it almost diminished the value of Rory and Mal by saying, damn, we could just put any niggas in the chair and we gonna do numbers.
Yeah.
Even though if we've been watching the last few pods, people have been saying like, yo, Rory's been like, I've been in some of the Reddit the Joe Budden Reddits and some of the comments in the YouTube, and people are like, yo, Rory been MVP in this last few episodes. People been talking about like just these guys. So to say that they haven't had any value is just not accurate. But it's really unfortunate. I think the more interesting thing to me is how that translates to their actual friendship.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, that was.
And I will say the one thing that really is interesting to me is that I think Joe and Rory can probably sort out whatever they got sorted out, but Joe and Mal is gonna be a little different. Joe kind of tried to play Mal, like Mal was like this nigga off the street that moved in with him and helped him out, and Mal was like, nigga, I don't know if you like you're not gonna be trying to play me like that, like. And Mal has been, honestly, because let's be real, Joe's rap career in large part, and this is what Mal alluded to because I did see a little bit of the response. He was like, "Yo, you talking about we got people you talking about in the podcast how you got people lined up around the corner for you, bro? I was with you when you was rapping and you was doing shows. Niggas wasn't lined up around the corner for you." Right. So don't make it seem like you doing us off the strength of you, because I was with you when niggas wasn't. It's funny because it is kind of interesting when Joe probably at his lowest point of his career when he was still putting out music and niggas really wasn't rocking with Joe like that. Mal was there. Right. So now that Joe is up, everyone quote unquote loves Joe. He's a business mastermind. Blah 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 blah. And it's like you trying to shit on Mal, who was with you when you wasn't that. Like they said, when you was doing shows and niggas wasn't rocking with you. Even Crooked from Slaughterhouse was like, yo, Mal had like one of the first Slaughterhouse varsity jackets. He's like, yo, Mal been down like, and that's kind of the thing that's interesting to me. Like Mal, I just find it really hard. Like to me, I measure a person. Is Mal the most interesting character on the? Is he the most interesting person on the podcast? Of course not. But I just find his character. I don't find him to be a person that would be trying to snake Joe or trying to be doing anything to Joe unless something was off on the other side. Because I'm sure he's been with Joe when Joe was on drugs.
Yeah.
in a much darker space. So when he was in the trenches, when shit wasn't going well for him, when you was getting your ass punched by Consequence on Love and Hip Hop, Mal was there. I'm just saying. So it's like, I think both sides have some validity in what they're saying, because as it is his podcast. I mean, ultimately he can move forward with it. You know, his vision is his vision, but if there's an agreement, I think that they made prior to, I mean, you got to honor that agreement. So, it's a shame, man. It's a shame, and this is the first time in the podcast space we've seen a breakup of such.
Yeah, I don't.
This is like the it's like the Rockefeller podcast.
This is Dame Dash and Jay-Z.
This is Dame and Jay.
And they need a third person, and Rihanna. I don't know who's the third person with them.
I mean, it was Biggs, Dame, and Jay.
Yeah, there you go.
Biggs, small brother. Yeah, the Biggs. Yeah, Biggs, Jay, and Dame.
It's kind of interesting. It's kind of crazy to look at, man. Especially if you've been following. Like, I stopped following them for a while, not because I got bored with the podcast, but I stopped listening like right when the tension started. I think that
would be about right. I mean, honestly, because like one thing I will say that I noticed is, and this could be telling to what they had going on in the background, Mal was different when he first got on the podcast. He was much more. He wasn't like the too cool nigga that he ended up kind of turning into.
Yeah.
He was very different. And there was a time where he kind of started to change a little bit. And I guess maybe that was his way of okay, I'm going to do the show, but I'm not going to put all in because now I'm seeing stuff that's funny. So, it's a lot of behind the stuff. And then, of course, you started seeing there was more obvious tension with Joe and Rory. Mm-hmm. That was kind of...
they were obvious.
That was kind of permeating through their episodes. And,
remember the episode Joe said we weren't friends? We aren't friends. You remember that?
Joe is the type of person, he'll say shit, and then after the fact, he'll go back and apologize. And it's like, bro, you can't. I personally, I'm not speaking for anybody else. I'm just saying for me, I hate people who do that.
Yeah.
Like if you, because to me, when you're angry, you really say how you feel. Mm-hmm. You say what you mean. Like anger is you can make irrational decisions in anger, but I think everything that you say is how you really feel when you're angry. So when you're angry and then you calm down and you go back and say, "Oh, I didn't mean to say that." No, you meant to say it. You meant to say it. You just need to get your filter off so you can really get it off.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then he was like, because even Joe, he just walked back what he said about, because first he was like, yeah, they can try to do a podcast if they want. I'm going to sue the shit out of them because there's a non-compete clause. So then he came out after that. He was like, I told him I was going to sue him. He's like, I'm not going to sue him. He's like, they want to do a podcast, they can go ahead. So he walked it back. So it's like,
yeah.
So I feel like he was just like, it's interesting, man, because I think Joe's very smart, but I think Joe does have a history of being very much a goalpost mover.
Yeah.
So he'll manipulate and I mean, typical narcissistic tendencies that he does. I mean,
I think it's gonna be interesting.
But I think what people can learn from this is just it is dangerous a lot of times to do business with friends.
Yeah.
And you have to really be, you got to have those conversations with people on the front end before y'all start really getting money.
It's cool. Yeah, I was about to say it's cool to have business with friends until y'all start making it.
So
then
I think
that's when things go bad.
I think it's like it's important to hash those things out while y'all are still broke. Y'all youngsters can listen to. Oh, y'all got your earphones in there, man. But yeah, man, just before you start making money, figure out what the splits are going to be, figure out what the agreement's going to be, figure out what people's assignments is going to be, or whatever have you. So the other thing I'll say is I do think, even though this is not necessarily geared to the contract, I mean, I find Rory and Mal, when they do stuff, they've done a podcast where Joe wasn't there before.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It was chill. It was, and I think there's a lane for that. There's a lane for people, because everyone doesn't like drama. Everyone doesn't just want to hear a bunch of niggas yelling and having drama. There's a podcast where dudes can laugh and chill and have a good time. I think Rory and Mal can find a way to do that. They can get a girl on the podcast and make a nice little pivot from what they was doing. So, I mean, I think it's there. I mean, to be honest, Mal and Rory, whatever happens, I think they're both gonna land on their feet. They're not. It's not gonna be on the street.
That'll be fine.
Wiping windows and nothing like that. So, it is what it is. But the thing that's the thing. I think both parties, like Joe's podcast ain't really gonna suffer. Well, let me walk that back, because now even with Ice and Ish,
that tension.
Well, not even that, but he's got to figure that out, because Ice and Ish can't really say anything as far as like money wise, because like they ain't really put no skin in the game. They ain't put no skin in the podcast. So if Joe say y'all got to be workers, y'all got to be workers, and that's just gonna be. But it's like, are they? Again, they don't need to do the podcast. They're doing. I'm sure they've been doing shit before, so it's not like they're thirsty to do the podcast. So
is Savon still there?
Savon does his own podcast.
Oh,
him and Alex, him and Scream Man.
So they don't yell at him no more.
They do need to know, but Savon was on the podcast at one episode. It just didn't mesh. It felt weird.
He's better being talked about.
And honestly, on his own podcast, I think he's more comfortable. Joe does the age thing a lot with him. It's like, you young, you don't know shit type of thing.
Oh, that's a terrible card to play.
Which is I hate that.
Yeah, that's not a good card to play.
And I hate and honestly, I kind of hate what he used to do with Rory, always like doing like the white shit. Like, all right, bro, we get it. Rory's white, but I mean, you don't
point out every episode. Yeah. White privilege.
Yeah, exactly. Rory's white. We get it. You called him though. So, but no, man. Ultimately, man, I think all these brothers are gonna be all right. I do think Rory and Ack need to fight though.
Yo,
what did these youngsters say? Ack was smoking a Rory.
Rory. I looked at the academics Twitch. I was like, yo, if Rory don't fight this man.
He was screaming too much for me, but I'm not gonna hold you. That shit was kind of funny.
he said Rory,
and I'm not gonna lie too. If Rory really sent him that card, he gotta hold that L. But he do gotta fight him though.
Yeah,
he do gotta like. I think Mal will probably be like, man, I'm not fighting academics. It's that's beneath me. But I think Rory will be like, it ain't beneath me. I'll put
see me in a ring.
Yeah.
They should absolutely fight. I'll watch.
Yeah, I don't condone violence, but I think once the undercard for Jake Paul and or Logan Paul and Floyd, Rory and Ack. That's a good undercard for me.
That would be crazy. Yeah. They should definitely fight. I'll watch that.
Ack can get put on his fucking face. Shit. He better stay on Twitch where you know he good at. He try to put hands on anybody. Livingston. What did Ack drop Rory?
Never know, man.
Yo, if he drop Rory, he can't.
Rory got to move to Canada.
Rory got to leave.
Rory got to move.
He got to leave the Western Hemisphere. He got to go. He got to go somewhere out in Germany.
We don't ever want to see you again.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Your citizenship is revoked. You out of here. All right, man. So that's pretty much it for that topic. But I do think a lot of people, whether you have a podcast or not, I think anybody who works or does business with their friends, I think just watching that is a good lesson for all of us to really sometimes, like I said, that could be an uncomfortable conversation, but you rather be uncomfortable in the beginning than it is on the end. So, speaking of uncomfortable conversations, Elon is costing me some. So,
Elon, no one man should have all this power.
Environmental challenge, man. Fuck out of here. So, Elon Musk was on Saturday Night Live last week. I didn't watch any of the skits, but I know he said some shit about Dogecoin, and he called it a hustle.
And it took a nosedive.
Which in totality, and I say in totality, meaning like the past few months. Mostly, if you bought in January, you still up.
Yeah,
so it ain't a big deal. But niggas who just caught wind of it like the week before, if you bought those before he got on SNL, and then he got on SNL, you're probably a little bit upset. He called it. Not only did he call it a hustle, he then went on to say that you can't buy Tesla with Bitcoin right now because something about environmentally, even though you think Elon Musk ain't been having an environmentally conscious thinking before he even got into the crypto space. I personally think that he may have got tugged by the SEC.
SEC? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think he may have got, SEC may have said, hey, you
bring it on back.
You don't want to do that. Whatever you think you're going to do on that show, you don't want to do that. But yeah, so for those of you who bought Bitcoin or who bought Doge in the beginning of May, sorry to hear that.
Oh, sucks to be you, I guess.
Nigga like me is still up, so.
I'm up. Yeah. I was just like, everybody was blowing me up. Man, don't shut up. I'm like, I bought it in January. So.
I failed to see the part where that's my problem.
According to your week-long chart, you're in trouble. But according to my 1 month, 3 month chart.
Yeah, according to my 3 month chart.
My 3 month chart is beautiful.
Yeah, we good over here.
So
it's still Doge to the moon, baby. To the moon, baby.
Let's Doge go back to 2 cents.
Exactly. You niggas,
I'm cool.
You niggas is assed out. Sorry. Hey, still hold though. To the moon, we still up.
I still think it's gonna go up.
Yeah, I still got $1 by the end of the year.
Yeah, it should hit $1.
I still got $1 by the end of the year. So.
What's your price point? So
never. Nah, bro. I'm gonna take a little off the top when I get to $1. I'm always gonna be holding some, cause you never know, man. I got some other coins that I gotta examine.
They're just starting to make coins for nothing now, though.
They've been,
this whole week has just been like.
Yeah, but I ain't worried about them motherfuckers. Right now. I got my eye on Cardano. Cardano's been pushing $2.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's been sick because it was sitting at like 120 for the long. Like, man, nigga, if you don't get your ass up, so Cardano's starting to make some moves, bro. By the way, this is not a financial podcast. We just talking about.
Oh, I am nowhere near a financial advisor.
Yeah, so it's not a podcast for financial advice. Just talking about some stuff I got my eyes on. Yeah, so Cardano I got my eyes on. Litecoin took a bit of a small dive, but it broke 400 not too long ago.
It did?
Yeah.
When, like today?
No, like maybe a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah. No, I do remember, but it dived down. Like
when Elon fucked, it was the point. It wasn't just Dogecoin. A lot of coins took.
Yeah, I saw they took a lot of them took a nosedive.
Yeah, but Litecoin broke 400. Maybe a week or two ago. So. Yeah, man, I ain't never, bro. I'm always keep a little bit in crypto, bro. Regardless of whatever happened, I'm always keep a little bit. So, but yeah, man. So Elon, he lost $20 billion, but to him,
what's $20 billion?
To him, that's like
that's $20 million.
Yeah,
that might be $20 million now.
That's a tank of gas in a plastic bag. So.
There's a couple of prototype Cybertrucks.
Hey, you been fist fighting for gas out here?
I filled up on Monday.
I did too.
So I'm okay.
I have some clients who own some gas stations, and they was like, "Hey, bro, you gonna have to fill it up because
it's coming."
Yeah. So
I filled up on Monday, and then I got all the texts about the gas on Tuesday.
Yeah, shit's crazy, bro.
So, but they're starting to come back now.
Yeah, I think whatever the pipeline issue was, they got to sort it out. So now, like, it's just a matter of the stations getting the gas. And
you think the government was behind it?
Hacking?
What a strange hack. I wonder who thought of that. To hack a whole pipeline? I wouldn't. Who? I mean, well, people hack things all the time, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that's. Yeah, I'm not sure what that play was about, so I can't say.
It don't seem like they didn't report like, oh yeah, we lost money, nothing. They were just like, nah, our gas supply just got shut down.
Yeah, I don't think they were. Yeah, I can't say.
Like as an excuse to raise the prices. because I remember that prices skyrocketed on Monday and Tuesday. They went up.
Yeah, I can't see them doing that. That's not a good way to. I think they could have came up with a better excuse than that to raise it. You never want to hear anything about security breaches. Hacking is never like a good thing to instill into people.
I don't know, man. So, what a crazy situation. If it's not,
I mean, you can say like an outage or something like that. You don't have to say hack. You can say an outage or something where mechanical failure. So
if it's not COVID, it's gas. If not gas, do you know we're running out of sand? I read an article about that. We're having like an international sand shortage right now. Like, this is a real thing. I'm just saying.
These are the environmentalists. These are these degrees is getting these people.
I'm telling you, everything they warned y'all about.
What that mean?
Forever ago.
What that mean for our?
These two.
Yeah.
How you feel about not having sand? That's the thing.
He don't even care. I'm not saying you see sand. He don't even. All right, man. I ain't really watching them, bro, because I was on the shelf.
I've been playing Returnal all week. I ain't gonna lie to you. No, I saw that. I'm waiting on that new Ratchet and Clank to come out in 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, you did say that. Ooh. All right, let's move along. A bittersweet day today. The Hall of Fame induction.
That's today?
That is today. The enshrinement is today.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's I've been seeing some texts. Niggas talking about they don't even want to watch it because they don't even want to get emotional.
Kobe.
Yeah. So
that's gonna be a tough one.
KG, Tim Duncan, and of course the late great Kobe Bryant will be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I believe Michael Jordan is gonna speak.
No, it is him. He's the one inducting Kobe.
Yeah. Boy, I would have liked to see a Kobe speech, man.
What time does it start? I didn't even know that was today.
I want to say it starts at. I think it started at 5:30.
Oh damn.
Yeah, bro. So it's which I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I can't watch it right now. I can't.
Yeah, 5:30.
I can't watch it right now, man. I wonder how many girls are upset that dudes are not over Kobe Bryant being dead. Damn, he died a whole year ago. You ain't never,
Shut up.
You ain't never cried. Oh, it goes back to them. You ain't never cried over me like that. You never. Did you drop 81? That's what I thought.
And they saving them for last, so I might be able to make it.
Yeah. Well, it'll be online somewhere. So I'm gonna watch it, and yeah, man, it's just bittersweet, man, to see that this was. I mean, you knew as soon as he retired, you knew this was on the horizon. You're like, oh man, 5 years from now he'll be inducted. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't even a question. So him, KG, Tim Duncan. I done said a lot of shit about Tim Duncan, but he had a hell of a career.
Oh, he'll go
for sure. So congratulations to all these brothers, man.
For sure. And absolutely, congrats.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna check that out a little bit later. I can't watch it right now. But we're also gonna, now that the NBA season is over, we're gonna revisit this play-in tournament.
So it's official?
Yeah, they're doing it. It's been official. Okay. I just don't like it. Neither does LeBron, especially now that he has to play in it. Oh. So, so the play-in tournament, I believe the way that it works is that the 7th and the 8th seed play against each other. The 9th and the 10th seed play against each other. Now, the 9th and the 10th seed, they have to play twice. The 9th and the 10th seed, the winner of that head-to-head plays the loser of the 7th and 8th.
Okay. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry.
So, not that exciting, I get it. But the winner of the I just said it. The winner of the 7th and 8th seed becomes the 7th seed. The loser of the 7th and 8th seed plays the winner of the 9th and the 10th seed. Okay. The winner of that game then becomes the 8th seed. So, in the Eastern Conference, in a shocking turn of events, the Washington Wizards have a chance to make the playoffs.
What did they do?
Philly's gonna get them out of here. Philly's gonna get him out of here.
It'll be Philly.
But damn, I wanted to pull this up because there's a 1 seed that could get sent home. I'm gonna tell you right now, the Lakers and the Warriors play the 7th and 8th seed game. The Warriors, let's say the Warriors lose that game. They'll play the winner of the 9th and 10th seed game, which I think is Memphis and the Spurs. They're going to beat one of them teams, and they'll be the 8th seed going against the Jazz.
You think Jazz going to send them home?
No, I think Jazz is going to be sent home.
Okay.
Jazz are the number 1 seed in the West.
So, you don't think the Jazz could do it?
I think the Jazz have to deal with a Warriors team that's playing with house money.
Okay.
Donovan Mitchell kind of has pressure on him this year.
He does.
To deliver.
Because how many years has it been already?
It's been a few. And we got to kind of rewind back to a few months ago where Shaq said, yo, I need to see something from you. And people was like, oh, man, get a guy a break. And, I mean, I agree with that to an extent, but.
It's 2021.
Hey. This is the big leagues. You gotta, at some point, you do have to kind of start trying to break out. So, yeah, man. So it's gonna be interesting to see. And you guys, excuse me, I'm trying to pull the chart up here. Yeah. So we got the in the East, we got the Wizards playing the Pacers, which I think the Wizards can win that game. But then they have to play the winner of the Celtics. And they have to play the winner of they have to play the loser of the Celtics and the Hornets.
Okay.
I don't know if they beat either one of those teams.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see them losing that.
So, but if they do get in, yeah, they get ass beat by the Sixers.
All this to say, hey, Wizards fans,
which is kind of another reason that the play-in thing is kind of stupid because like we kind of get to the same place. Like it works this year because the Warriors can possibly either be the 7th seed playing against the Suns or the 8th seed playing against the Jazz. I'm gonna tell you this, man. The Knicks are the 4th seed in the East. Julius Randle's probably going to get most improved player of the year.
He should.
That nigga been balling.
He should.
You know who also has pressure on him, I think, this year that's not really being talked about? Giannis.
Yeah.
Even though the next to the prohibitive favorite to come out the East, I think Giannis got to do something this year, man. He hasn't really had a dominant performance in the playoffs.
No, he just had dominant games. He had games where he took over.
Games, yeah.
And it wasn't consistent games. It would be like one game and then he'll fall off and then come back.
If you go back to 2 years ago, they beat the Raptors the first 2 games just to beat the rest of the 4 games. And then didn't the Heat sweep them damn near last year? Last year the Heat damn near swept them. Or they won one game.
Yeah.
So got some interesting matchups here, man. The Nuggets that Jamal Murray injury is really gonna hurt them. The Nuggets are playing the Blazers.
They're gonna lose off of that.
Nuggets are playing the Blazers, and then we got a rematch of the Clippers and the Mavericks from last year. The Mavericks should have beat them niggas last year. I think Clippers got some pressure too. Clippers got to get to the Western Conference Finals.
Clippers got more pressure than anyone.
They got to get to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah. Are they disbanding that team?
See, the thing is, Paul George has been balling this year. The problem is, playoff time is when he usually starts to unravel.
Playoff PG or PG playoff?
Last year they called him Pandemic P.
Pandemic P. That's what it was. Playoff P.
Yeah, they call him all that. Playoff P, Pandemic P, Plateau P. So, yeah. So it'll be interesting, bro. Who do you have coming out the West when it's all said and done?
Utah.
You think Utah gonna get to the finals? What about the East?
I don't know. The East is a tougher call. The East is kind of a tougher call.
I think the Nets ultimately figure out a way. I think the Nets will find a way to get to.
Oh yeah, the Nets. I forgot about them. I'll say the Nets.
James Harden's back. Kevin Durant's still Durant. Even with Kyrie going through whatever the fuck he be going through, I think they got enough to come out the East. The West is more interesting, man. I think I gotta say, man. I mean, I'm a Laker guy.
If Jamal Murray went hurt, I would say the Nuggets, honestly.
Yeah, this is kind of hard, man. I'm liking the Suns, bro. I'm not gonna hold you.
Okay.
And Chris Paul continues to get disrespected to not even be in the MVP conversation. But if he don't win it, he don't win it. But to say the man to say the man's not in the conversation, I think is a travesty. People forget I believe the last year that the Suns were in the damn play-in tournament last year, if I'm not mistaken. They weren't the second seed in the West. That's what I do know.
They definitely weren't that.
That's what I do know. And with Chris Paul comes and he quietly makes teams better, but because his numbers are not astronomically standoutish, it's unfortunate.
There's a reason he's on State Farm.
They should do the Steve Nash effect. If Steve Nash can become 2-time MVP with blah blah blase blah ass numbers, then so can Chris Paul.
That's true.
Twice, not even once, twice, back to back, because people knew that Steve Nash was the glue.
The impact.
Even if he wasn't the best offensive player on the team, Steve Nash was the motor of that team. I think Chris Paul gives that team a sense of discipline, a sense of – because Devin Booker's always been on that team as a talent. Devin Booker's a killer. But I think Chris Paul provides leadership that I think is undervalued. So, yeah, that's all I got on that. Anything else on your mind, Doc? Anything else you want to –
No, I wouldn't watch that Hall of Fame, though.
Yes.
I didn't know that was happening though.
Yeah. All right, so we'll wrap it up here. We hope you all enjoyed this week's episode. As always, we appreciate you guys listening and tuning in. Once again, if you check the description on the YouTube channel for this video, there will be timestamps for the subjects in the description. And we thank you all for listening. We hope you all have a great week. Stay safe. Joe Biden told y'all to vax up or mask up. I didn't say that. He said that. I didn't say it. He said it. I'm just telling you what he said. I'm just telling you what he said. Anything else you want to say, brother, before we sign out?
Hey, just be safe. I don't really have much for y'all this week. No speech. No. Be safe. Make sure all your tires are inflated. Handle your business.
There we go.
What about you?
Get a gap before a tattoo. You have to. As a matter of fact,
I have to.
Have to.
You're telling him I have to. I have to.
That's all, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that's it. Once again, thank you all for listening to the Pencil Pushers Project, latest episode 53. We love you guys, and we are out.
All right.
Rest in peace, Kobe.
Of course.